$100 million Leads by Alex Hormozi. Wow. Where do I even begin when it comes to reviewing this book? Let's just hop right in, okay? I have to start by telling you that this is the most tactical book that I've read on generating leads and turning those leads to profit. Not revenue, profit. There is a difference, by the way, and Alex Hormozi is a very tactical and analytical person, which is similar to my style, so I love the book. It's no fluff. There's no like hoorah motivation. I'm trying to inspire you to start a business. So if that's what you're looking for, hey, don't buy the book. You're going to be disappointed. This is for people who want to get leads and turn leads into profit. Okay? And he breaks down all the tactical strategies in order to do it. And I want to talk to you about that today. Now, before we get to $100 million leads, let me start by saying that if you're a new entrepreneur, you should most likely read $100 million offers first. I read this one first. I haven't reviewed this yet. I will because I've read this like maybe a year ago, and it's the number one rated I think best-selling book on Amazon. Just buy it, and it's going to teach you how to create a great offer first, because before you can get leads, you need an offer necessary to put into the marketplace so that they can give you their information. He's going to show you $100 million offers how to create a great one. And I actually used all of the strategies in $100 million offer to be able to create a great offer, and I saw it work. And then when you pair it with $100 million leads, you're going to learn all the strategies necessary to be able to go fishing. Very key. So with that, let's hop right in to $100 million leads. Like I said, this is for if you already have an offer established for your business. Now, first things first, what I love about the book is that it takes you through, lead magnets. So depending on how experienced that you are in running a business and understanding how marketing works, then you know about lead magnets. If you don't know about lead magnets, it's very simple. You put an offer out there, let's say on Facebook ads, and essentially when you put the offer out there, you're delivering free value to the marketplace, to your desired customer. So in my example, I run ads to reach life insurance agents because we do marketing for insurance agents. So I'm putting an offer out there to them through the concepts in $100 million offers. And my goal is to deliver them something free value in exchange for their information. That's the essential way that he's showing you how to get leads. Deliver free stuff and make your stuff good. He delivers on what he preaches in the book, because if you remember anything about Alex Hormozi, then you know he spent, I want to say maybe 2 years saying, my name is Alex Hormozi and I have nothing to sell you. He only delivered free game on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. It didn't matter. And in exchange, he was collecting your data and information. And then he had this very big event, which had over 1 million views. It was a live event, where he was going to be selling $100 million leads, the book. And in that live event, he collected hundreds of thousands of people's lead information for free by delivering a valuable presentation to everyone. So create a lead magnet that's so good, and the offer is so good that they're like, hey, I'll give you my information. So in my example, one of my lead magnets, I created a case study, and I learned this from Alex Hormozi. I created a case study, and it said free case study showing life insurance agents how to launch their own Facebook ad accounts to generate leads. With that, people would see the ad of the video that I did. They go to the landing page, the lead magnet page. They fill out their information in exchange for the free case study. Now, in that free case study, like Alex Hormozi talks about in the $100 million leads, this book, you better deliver great stuff. When you deliver great stuff, and you identify the problem that they're going to backtrack a little bit. You want to deliver great stuff. But in the book, he talks about problem to solution. That's the intro of $100 million leads. You want to, in your lead magnet, deliver great information, but you want to be able to show the problem that the person is going to be experiencing, and then how the thing that you're trying to get them to pay for is the solution to that problem. So he basically says that every problem creates a solution, and then every solution leads to another problem, right? So it's a cycle, and your job is to continue to find those. So create a video, deliver the value, and then say, hey, with all of the information that I just gave you, you are going to run into a problem. Now, and the problem that you're going to run into is this, and I created the solution to solve that problem. So your goal is to expose the problem through the lead magnet, which ultimately leads them closer to your solution. That's what the lead magnet is meant to do. You'll be able to learn a lot more about that in the book, but that was very valuable information, and I've used it effectively, and it works. But the part that was there were two parts most valuable to me. That's why I said, man, this is like one of the most tactical, well-written books, is the core four. That's what this entire book is built on, the core four. The core four consists of warm market, posting free content, cold outreach, and running paid ads. That's the core four. I don't know which I can't remember which like 1 through 4 what numbers it goes through from 1 through 4, but the core four, warm outreach. So first he starts off by breaking down to you how, if you're a new entrepreneur right now, you don't have any money, you're strapped for cash, all you have is time, but not a lot of money. Here's the way that you can do warm outreach right now. So as an example, one of the things that I teach life insurance agents is, hey, there's a lot of warm market strategies if you don't got any money to be able to buy leads or be able to run Facebook ads or utilize my service. One of those ways, like he gave examples to, are just ways of being able to build your own list from your contacts in your phone, etc., email address, phone number, and then just start reaching out to start building connection. And then from building those connections, start getting more referrals from those warm markets. So he breaks down the warm market strategy. So if you're a new entrepreneur and you struggle, you don't have any money, but you had a lot of time, you should read this book just on warm market, and that should be able to push you to getting the cash necessary so you can focus on the next three that I'm going to talk about, which he talks about posting free content. This is another one that's very important. Now, posting free content, one of the core four, that wasn't new to me because I have been posting content on social media for the last 12 years, okay? I've been posting on Facebook and Instagram since I was 18. I'm 30 today. I built a social media channel on Instagram to over 780,000 followers, 700,000 on TikTok, 250,000 on YouTube here, and another like 600,000 on Facebook. So I was very aware of the strategies on posting free content. I won't do an entire breakdown on that, but he does an excellent job of how posting free content is supposed to work when it comes to the creating the right hooks, creating the right retention, and then delivering on the goods in the free content, which will ultimately allow your content to be shareable. And then the more shareable it is, the more people that you reach. The concept that he shared, though, that was interesting, he talks about leverage a lot. And he says that in entrepreneurship, you don't get rich or wealthy off hard work. You get rich or wealthy off leverage. The more leverage that you have, the more money you'll ultimately earn. He gave an example of like if the strongest man has a very short lever, a older woman that has a longer lever can lift something heavier than the strong guy with the short lever. So the longer your leverage, the faster you'll be able to go. So he preaches that, and he talks about the fact that posting free content is probably one of the biggest leveraging things that you can do, simply because, and I understand this from now when he got me to look at it a different way, because I scaled back on posting organic content because I've just been doing it for so long. And on top of the fact that I've been posting organic content for so long, now that I'm like trying to build a business a different way, like doing too much organic content, I was receiving all of my leads organically from my social media pages, which in theory that's great, but from a business standpoint, with me trying to sell a company, if somebody wants to buy my company and the only way that I'm generating leads and customers is through my personal brand, the business is not valuable, because if something happens to me, then the business crashes, and there's not a single person that will buy a business that crashes if I die. So I'm attempting to find ways to generate business outside of my personal brand and allow that to be the cherry on top. So he talks about posting free content being a leveraging point, because Every time that you post a great piece of content, every time it gets shared, that's more impressions that you're receiving, and they're all entering into your warm market. For example, I posted a video of me doing an ultra marathon run, and that video did like 2 million views. It was shared 50,000 times. So put this into perspective. That video was shared 50,000 times. If the average person has 500 followers on their social media account and it was shared 50,000 times, then we just do the math, 50,000 times 500, that's like 25 million, which I think it was something like that on the impressions. Now those 25 million people have seen my face and they now become closer to my warm market. And that's leverage. You post a piece of content, it gets shared and shared and shared and shared and shared, and it's your way to be able to get more leads. So you should watch. You could definitely read that section on posting free content. Now, this part of cold outreach blew my mind. This was not something I was doing, and he shares a story about how he met a guy. It was during COVID-19. He ended up meeting a sales guy that he meant that he was going to hire, but because of COVID, he was like about to fire his staff, and business wasn't generating any revenue because all of his revenue was coming from local businesses, but all local businesses and gyms were closed. So he ended up getting in contact with the guy, and he talks to him and says, hey man, like, you know, who you currently work for now? The dude's like, hey, I have a gym. I work for a gym software company. And he says, cool, how do you guys get your leads? He said, all cold outreach. And Alex was like, all cold outreach? Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't know these people? No, we don't do any paid ads, nothing. Like, we just reach out to people cold, call them, email them, etc. He said, how much does the business do a month? The business was doing $10 million a month in cold outreach with people that didn't even know them. He was blown away, and he basically told the guy, hey, you know, I'll front you the time, like I'll pay you for the next 8 weeks, but you got to build out the whole cold outreach system. And now he, at the end of the chapter, you'll see like he was doing $500,000 a week, I believe, in sales from cold outreach, just reaching out to people who didn't even know anything about Gym Launch at the time. Blew my mind away because I didn't even know that was like a thing. But like now, I built this cold outreach strategy into my business just about 2 weeks ago, and I'm already starting to get replies from the cold. So like he teaches you the strategies on how to find the software, the brokers, etc. And then here's the best part. He even on his website, acquisition.com, has a bunch of resources that are there on like the type of cold outreach emails you should send out and etc. How to scrape lists and find emails, phone numbers, all of that stuff. I found the whole softwares. I put it all together. I started implementing the strategies right away, and I already started getting replies from like people cold on my offer, which was like phenomenal. So yes, cold outreach is key because he also said that it makes your business more valuable, and I understand because think about it now. When I get to a point of selling my business, which I will, if you're watching this YouTube channel, I can't wait for the day that this happens because I'm going to be posting content like this all the time, reviewing books, and I'm going to keep talking about the fact that I'm adding all of these strategies to ultimately sell my company. And now through cold outreach efforts, my business becomes more valuable because I'm not included in getting sales from a cold outreach. They don't even know me. They saw the offer through email or text or whomever from one of my sales guys. They booked a call, they paid, and that's a valuable thing. So you should definitely go into cold outreach. It's a more advanced level strategy for the entrepreneurs who you already have like your established stuff set up with your posting content online, etc. And then lastly is running paid ads. I think that's pretty straightforward. If you're a paid ads person, you're going to find value from the fact that he breaks down the numbers that he looks for, like what's the break-even point on paid ads. I'll tell you something that I made a mistake on, but I don't anymore, and I learned this from Alex, is that like I don't do the whole break even on paid ads or using your paid ads as a loss leader to be able to get leads. He's made it very clear in his book that that's probably one of the stupidest ideas you can do, and that your paid ads needs to be profitable on the front end, regardless of if you have a great back end offer. Like If you don't know what I mean by that, back end offer means like maybe you have a monthly recurring revenue strategy set up on the back end, or you have a high ticket offer on the back end. So what you'll do is you'll run ads on the front end, and you'll run an offer, and you're not making any money on the front end from that offer, because let's say you sell something for $97, but it costs you $200 to acquire the customer. You're negative every time that somebody buys that product with hopes that you're able to get the money on the back end. That's not a good strategy, and he's made it very clear. And by the way, I've also done it that way, and I've been strapped for cash. Very bad cash flow, and it's not sustainable. So I don't do that anymore, and he's made it clear, and he shows you how to break down your numbers to ensure that that doesn't happen and what your break-even points need to be. And since I've done that, now on the front end of all of my ads, they are profitable on the front end with a back-end offer that's established, that makes the client even more valuable with the increasing the lifetime value. So you should read that part if you run paid ads, or if you're not running paid ads, you should, because you will get an idea thinking that you can lose money on the front end to be able to make it on the back end. And I promise you now, based off of my experience and Alex, that ain't gonna work. You won't be in business too long. And if you use the example of like, well, other companies do it. Like, for example, like Robinhood will do that. They released like, I think, a credit card or something that just had like these crazy benefits on there. And there was an entire argument on X that talked about that, like, how is Robinhood making money on this? But it's a loss leader. But Robinhood has investors. They have a lot of venture-backed capital, so they can do loss leaders. Amazon's loss leader was, of course, their Amazon Prime, and they did that for a while, but you're not Amazon. None of us are. We're small businesses that need to make profit from everything that we do, and that's very key. So your front-end offers need to be good. And then lastly, part 3, after the core 4, he breaks down lead getters. Now, this one was very key, and I won't go into a breakdown here because because I'm currently building mine out now, so I don't want to talk too much about that. But when it comes to lead getters, what I will say is you want to read the part about affiliates. You want to read that part in the lead getter section. It's going to talk about strategies of how you can get other people to continue to bring you more leads. Not other people, to get other businesses to bring you leads. To get other businesses to bring you leads. Because other businesses already have customers. How do you get those other businesses with their customers to be able to give their customers to you? How do you make that mutually beneficial? And let's say that you get, like, as an example, I'll only go into this part. Let's say you find 10 businesses that have your ideal customers, and they already get those customers all the time, right? 10 businesses. You recruit those 10 businesses, and you make it mutually beneficial. Those 10 businesses will continue to feed you customers every single day. They'll feed you customers. Like, you don't got to run Facebook ads. You don't got to do cold. You don't got to post any content. Those 10 businesses will continue to feed customers to your front door because it's beneficial for them to do so. And that's what the lead getter part of affiliates is about. And if that gets built out the right way, which I'm currently testing and running through right now, you got yourself something very valuable in your hands. Because again, Alex talks about the fact that you want to be able to build a valuable business that's ultimately sellable, and you need to perform strategies like lead getters, other businesses, in order for you to be able to have a more valuable valuation for your business. And last but not least, the part that I loved about this book is he talks about numbers, analytics. Of course, I've always found numbers when it comes to running a business to be important. I just didn't know which numbers were important because I didn't go to business school. Like, I'm just a guy that started a business when I was 21 years old, and now I'm 30. I've been in this for 9 years, but I've made money. But I've also made mistakes in business. I didn't know what to look at. I didn't know what my offers were. And you learn those through time. So if you're in that place, I get it. You just don't know. If you didn't have anybody to learn from on how to do any of these things, you're testing it out. That's why I read a lot. I read 4 books a month right now on marketing, etc. And he does an entire chapter breakdown on all the numbers you should be looking at from your CAC. So CAC is very important. Your cost to acquire a customer, right? How much is it costing you to acquire a customer versus your LTV, which is your lifetime value? What's the average lifetime value of a customer? So in theory, if it costs you $200 to acquire a customer, and then your lifetime value is $1,000, then it costs you $400 to acquire $1,000 that you earn on average from every client. Then your lifetime value, in theory, just for it to make sense, your lifetime value needs to be higher than your CAC, which he'll break down in that video. And then it goes even a step further about your cost of service, about like you now have to build in your cost of service, because it's not just about your cost to acquire a customer, it's also about what's your cost of service to customers. So if you're a service-based business, per example, what's your cost necessary to hire the staff to deliver to a customer? So it's your CAC that he breaks down. It's your cost of service versus, oh, I got a bunch of crazy stuff happening. Apple is like going crazy with these things. Your CAC versus your cost of service, and then of course your LTV. And when you put all of those together, he gave me a very valuable number that he said that all investors look at, which is your LTGP to CAC ratio, your lifetime gross profit to CAC ratio, lifetime gross profit to cost to lifetime gross profit to cost to acquire customer ratio. He'll break it down in the book. You got to know that number, because he said that if you're not at least 3-to-1 on that, then you don't even got a great business. So when I looked at that, I was very surprised when I calculated mine, and surprised in a great way, actually. So you want to know your business numbers. And when you know those metrics, you're going to be able to make better decisions and know which levers to pull, which is back to the original concept. He talks about leverage and using the right levers. You got to know what you're looking at in order to do so. And that is what $100 Million Leads is going to do for you with Alex Hormozi. An excellent book is not just on getting leads. It's on literally building a profitable business through so many different ways other than Facebook ads. It's about building a lead engine. Like, that's what I call it, an engine. It's not just ads. It's not just posting on content. It's not just warm market. It's not just referrals. It's like everything. And if you could put all of these things together, these engines, then you'll never have a dry month. Like, now I understand, like, when people say, yo, it's slow in December, there's no such thing as it's slow in December. You don't have enough engines that are working for you so that when December comes and maybe your Facebook ads aren't hitting, you got 3 other engines that are getting you customers. Like, it's never slow, ever, right? And when you have enough engines that are established. And in my other review of the book that I did with Lean Marketing on Alan Dibb, he talks about the same thing. But I'll end this video by going back to my original point here when it comes to $100 Million Leads. What I found interesting about this book and Lean Marketing, which I want you to watch my other review and business breakdown on Lean Marketing, they both agree on the same thing, which is you got to go into the right business. You have to go into the right business. If you go into a business that does not have demand, if you go into a business that is not already, like, the market is already built out, like there are already customers in that market, there are already like celebrities in that market, there are already thought leaders in that market, there are people who write books about that market, there are events and conferences that happen in that market, webinars happen in that market, people buy products in that market already. If you're not in a market that already does that, you're going to be facing an uphill battle, and a lot of this, it's not going to work because there's just not enough traffic, and you're going to have to make a market. And they've made it very clear that you're not a business to make a market. You don't have the necessary funding to make a market. You need to go into a market that already exists, that already has customers, that already is driving new business, and then you need to create a niche out of that, something that you do different, and then utilize all of the strategies based off of what you do different in that market to be able to extract those customers, frustrated customers, which I'm currently reading a book right now that I'm going to be reviewing in the future that breaks all of that down too. But you need to find the right business to go into that already has traffic. And I learned the hard way, and I'm so glad now that I would never go into a business again that does not have demand, that does not already have traffic built out that I can siphon, and does not already have frustrated customers that I could provide a solution to. And then when I apply all of the tactical strategies that I'm learning here from these books, it's going to allow me to build engines every time that I start a business, marketing engines that just drive new leads and new customers all day, every day of the week, every month, January through December, no matter the holiday, and it works. With that said, I pray you found this valuable. Make sure you pick up $100 million leads on Amazon and also get $100 million offers if you're a new entrepreneur, so that you can put both of these together and build yourself a very valuable and profitable business. My name is Don. This is not a sponsored post, but although I do hope to have a very valuable conversation with Alex Hormozi one day, maybe a breakdown. He sees this video and we do like a super valuable conversation for the audiences based off of that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Make sure you check out the other reviews of the other books and the business breakdowns. Peace.